What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. You already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell because it does go a long way with helping out the channel, man. If this is your first time, I already know why you're here, man. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You are in the right place, guys. Today, I want you to pay attention to this key thing in relationships. If you pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, you can save yourself a lot of trouble. The key, though, to this information I'm going to give you is once you notice it, you want to make sure that you act fast. You want to make sure that you act fast. So I want you guys to watch this video all the way to the end, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, man. Listen, if you're interested in getting the free book, well, actually, it's not free. Um, Overcoming masturbation, keyboards, laptops, and desktops. It's an ebook that I produced. I was giving it out for free when I first initially started the book, but now it's just a donation of any amount to the Cash App, and I'll send you the book. So all you need to do is follow the instructions in the comment pinned to the top. Without further ado, man, let's get back to the video. A lot of you guys are in relationships with females, and you may be asking yourself, should I be in this relationship? Maybe you prayed, maybe you're just unsure, maybe you've been seeing things and it's hard for you to put these things together. Maybe you've been gaslighted, lied to, manipulated. I mean, the list goes on, right? But you don't have 100% assurance in whether or not you should continue in this relationship. What do? How do you make a determination on if you need to cut your losses or if you should actually continue in this relationship because there's a chance that you guys can actually make it? This is a question a lot of dudes are asking, men and female alike. And it's a valid question and it's an important question. And at some point in your relationship, you know, um, these things are going to cross your mind. And that's one of the toughest things about relationships, man, is a lot of times, most times, 99% of the time, we don't go into it with the proper understanding. Everybody goes into relationships with, fairy tales, happy endings, um, no pun intended. They go into it with false expectations. If you're in a relationship, there's one thing you need to pay attention to that'll tell you everything that you need to know about this person and where you guys are headed. And that one thing is patterns. Patterns will give you the truth. Patterns will give you all the intel, the details of what you need to make an intelligent decision about continuing down this path with this person or cutting it off. What do I mean by patterns? Things that you see repeatedly 2, 3, 4 times, right? It's a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior. Patterns dictate outcomes, right? It's no different in sports. If you playing against a team and they're shooting 35% from three over the course of 30, 40 games, it's pretty clear that they're shooting 35% from three. Okay, in a relationship, if a person is doing something over and over and over and you can see a clear pattern, and that pattern you don't feel like is going to be beneficial for you, or it's going to cause you to be a person you don't want to be, or it's going to cause you to have emotions that you don't want to feel, pay attention to the data. All of the data that you need is in the patterns. What people repeatedly do, this is who they are. And there's no sense in trying to sugarcoat it. There's no sense in trying to make it out to be something that it's not. It is what it is. If a person continuously lies, they're a liar. If a person continuously cheats, that they're a cheater. If a person continually tries to manipulate you, gaslight you, they've done this multiple times, this is who they are. And the one thing you got to understand about patterns, they're almost impossible to break. In order for a pattern to be disrupted, something major has to happen. You can't just change a pattern because it's a whole current. It's a whole current of characteristics and ideals and experiences that are driving the pattern. You can't change patterns overnight. So once you discover a pattern in a person, you have to make a quick decision on whether or not you can deal with this, whether or not you think this can be corrected, whether or not you want to work through trying to correct the behavior. A pattern is a very, very difficult thing to overcome. It's a paradigm. A paradigm is a collection of thoughts and beliefs and experiences. A pattern is the same thing. They might be one and the same. It's a patterns. This is a way a person is. They're continuously doing the same thing over and over, and you're expecting this pattern to correct itself. It's not. You have to have the insight. You have to have the ability to be able to recognize the pattern and make a quick, decisive decision on what the pattern is telling you, because the pattern tells a story on you. The pattern is telling you who this person is. The pattern is telling you what their shooting percentage is. The pattern is telling you what their batting percentage is. Pay attention to the pattern, because that's where the data lies, that's where the information lies, and that's where you can make an informed decision about these relationships that you find yourself in. Sometimes we don't want to believe the data. Sometimes you want to, you know, hope for a brighter day. But it's very difficult to break a person out of a pattern, because a pattern is deep rooted behaviors that is a collection of experiences, ideas, thoughts. It's very hard to break a pattern, bro. So if you in a relationship and you having second guesses, go back and zero in on the patterns. What patterns are you recognizing? What are you seeing repeatedly over and over? And you ask yourself the question. I read this book by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki back in the day. And it was a way to make tough decisions, and you ask yourself, what's the best that can happen? You ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? And then you ask yourself, what's most likely to happen? If you can't live with what's the worst that can happen, you don't make that decision. And I made a lot of decisions based off of that formula. What's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? What's most likely to happen? And if I see what's most likely to happen and I can't live with what's most likely to happen, I'm not going to make that decision. I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to take that risk. Evaluate your relationships, man. Please. It'll save you a lot of time. It can save you a lot of trouble. It can save you a lot of money. I know some of these relationships, people have trauma bonds. So you just bonded by trauma. The excitement of trauma, which is oxymoron, the excitement of trauma. These things are real, man. This is Home and Nuts Podcast, man. If you got value out of this video, man, hit the like button. And I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.